overturning of the travel ban is just one of a number of events in what has been a whirlwind first 2 weeks for the new Trump presidency. Mr. Trump is at his Florida estate this morning. It's his first weekend off since taking office, but it probably won't be a relaxing one. This morning, Iran is conducting new tests of its missile and radar systems in a show of defiance after the U.S. imposed new sanctions over a ballistic missile test launched last week. Errol Barnett is in our Washington bureau with more. Errol, good morning.
Good morning. President Trump's efforts to kickstart his America First foreign policy are getting off to a very rocky start. You see, the limitations of the executive branch have made campaign promises difficult to fulfill in a complex world.
Today we're assigning core principles for regulating the United States financial system.
Wielding his pen on yet another executive action Friday, President Trump ordered a review of financial regulations after a week of complicated foreign policy actions.
They're not behaving.
Iran test-fired a ballistic missile earlier this week. In response, the Treasury Department implemented new sanctions against the country, ones that were structured by the Obama administration. After the announcement, Iran's foreign minister wrote on Twitter he was unmoved by Mr. Trump's threats.
I think the Iran deal is one of the worst deals I've ever seen.
Candidate Trump railed against the UN-backed nuclear deal with Iran, but has so far left it in place.
Gonna build a wall.
The president is also finding it difficult to deliver on his campaign promise to make Mexico fund a Great Wall along the southern border.
Who is going to pay for the wall? 100%.
México no pagará ningún muro.
Mexican President Peña Nieto said his country will not pay and canceled a recently scheduled visit to the White House.
It's not a viable option.
Senator John McCain of Arizona added to congressional concerns that a wall would not make the country safer.
If you only build a wall, only a quote, a wall, without using technology, individuals, drones, observation, etc., you're not going to secure the border.
The administration's first public criticism of Israel also emerged this week.
The construction or expansion of existing settlements beyond the current borders is not going to be helpful moving forward.
Press Secretary Sean Spicer indicated President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu would likely discuss newly announced Israeli settlement expansion when the two leaders meet February 15th.
The president's committed to peace. That's his goal.
And despite complimentary rhetoric from President Trump toward Russian President Putin, UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, in her first address to the international body, condemned the Kremlin for aggressive actions in eastern Ukraine. The White House says those views and keeping sanctions in place for Russia's occupation of Crimea are supported by President Trump. Anthony?
Errol Barnett. Thanks, Errol.